I'm Paris, a personal trainer with over a decade of experience in the gym, and in this video, I'll be telling you exactly how Miles Teller built the beach body that caused him to go viral on TikTok and made millions of girls thirst over him. So that beach scene that went viral from Top Gun Maverick wasn't the first thing that Miles Teller needed to get in shape for. Back in 2016, Miles Teller starred in Bleed for This, a biopic portraying five-time boxing champion Vinny the Tasmanian Devil Pazina, who came back from a spine-shattering car crash to win the middleweight title. When he landed the role, he was around 190 pounds, and over the course of 5 months of daily hardcore boxing training, he cut all the way down to 168 pounds and dropped over 10% body fat. For the film Bleed for This, his goal was to become an amazing boxer, and they didn't really spend very much time training for aesthetics. But for Top Gun Maverick, he needed to pack on a ton of muscle and really focus on developing his physique. And I'm going to share with you the special training technique that Miles Teller used to build his TikTok famous beach body and how you can use it yourself to do the same. But first, a word from the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. I've been a huge fan of fantasy role-playing games all my life. I love everything from World of Warcraft to The Witcher to The Elder Scrolls, and I've always wanted the engaging gameplay and story that those games bring to be available on my phone, and with Raid Shadow Legends, my wish has finally come true. Raid has an innovative blend of PvE and PvP gameplay, a lore-rich world to explore, and over 600 badass characters to play as. All of those champions come from unique factions, each with their own history in the world of Teleria, and my favorite faction is the High Elves. Their homeland, Aravia, has been around for thousands of years, surviving the fall of the Lizardman Empire, helped the humans form into civilizations, and defeated the orcs when they finally formed a huge horde and attacked the continent. But things got twisted when Siroth, the Lord of Darkness, convinced a bunch of elves to go evil and attack the kingdom. The civil war nearly ended the elves, but Averia survived, rebuilt, and now is stronger than ever. And my favorite high elf champion is definitely Vergus. I mean, just look at that armor. And for this month, Raid has a non-stop schedule of special events and activities, including Forge Pass Season 3, with some awesome rewards on offer, including a limited edition artifact set. If that's not enough, Raid's bringing out new champions, along with some awesome looking champion skins for the incredible Madame Ceres. And later this month, Death Knight is finally becoming a legendary champion. I can't wait to see how the ultimate Death Knight turns out. This is the best time to get started in Raid, and if you click my link in my description or scan my QR code here on the screen, you'll get a unique bonus worth $30. We're talking a free champion, Aina, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get into the game. All this treasure will be waiting for you here, so don't wait to use my link or scan the QR code, because these rewards will only be available for the next 30 days and only for new players. Now back to the video. So to build the beach body that took the internet by storm, Miles had to bulk up all the way from 185 pounds to 210 before cutting down for the final film. But it was actually the weight gain phase that gave Miles the most trouble. For guys with fast metabolisms like myself, we need to eat an insane amount of food to gain weight, and I'm sure that's something that you guys have struggled with as well. And seems like Miles has the same problem, because to bulk up, he pretty much had to eat a large meal every 3 hours throughout the day.
Well, for me to gain weight, that was the toughest part, man. I would, for breakfast, it was like 6 eggs, and then you work out, and then you have a shake, and then it was 2 lunches. Each lunch would be like a chicken breast, a full potato, and some broccoli. I would have 2 of those, and then and then there would be another snack after that. And I remember for dinner specifically, it was 20 ounces of certain fish or steak, and so you're just eating so much. That's really what I didn't enjoy. And then
his diet was pretty classic for anyone who's trying to bulk up, and the fact that he was working with a nutritionist and most likely a private chef as well means he pretty much just had to focus on shoveling food into his face. But what if you're struggling with gaining weight and you don't have the luxury of a private chef or nutritionist? Well, let me hit you with 3 quick tips that'll make it much easier to start eating enough to actually start seeing some muscle gains. Number 1, spread out your meals as much as you can throughout the day. This will make it a lot easier to get in more calories throughout the day, especially if you find that you get full quite quickly. Nothing is worse than getting to the end of the day and realizing you still need to eat a mountain of food because you haven't eaten anything all day. Number 2, when you're eating a meal, start by eating the things that you like the least. For me, I usually have trouble getting down lean meats like chicken breasts once I start to get full, but I can eat carbs forever. So I always start by eating the meat, and then once I'm done that, I go for the carbs when I start to get full, so I can eat a lot more at each meal. And number 3, liquid calories are your friend. You can easily add 500 to 1,000 calories into your daily diet by making muscle building smoothies or by using mass gainer protein shakes, which are just protein shakes with added calories. For a muscle building smoothie, I like to use a couple of overripe bananas, a scoop of chocolate protein powder, and a bunch of peanut butter. Try out those tips and let me know how it goes in the comments below. So naturally, after Miles bulked up and built a solid amount of muscle mass, he had to cut down so he could look nice and shredded for that beach scene. His diet stayed pretty similar during this time, but he just had to cut down the portion sizes. And he also had to cut out his beer consumption along with any junk food he might have been having. So that covers Miles' diet, but what was this special workout technique that he used that got him so jacked for that beach scene? Well, Miles Teller used something called PHA training, which stands for Peripheral Heart Action Training. PHA training is a system I love using for my clients who are short on time and can only work out for maybe 30 to 40 minutes a couple days a week. Because with PHA training, you get an amazing cardio workout while also stimulating muscle growth at the same time. But what actually is PHA training? It's a method of resistance training where you alternate between doing upper body and lower body movements with very little rest in between. So for an example of what that looks like, I'll use one of Miles Teller's workouts. So you can see here that Miles's workouts were all full body and were made up of a bunch of upper body and lower body compound movements supersetted back to back together. There are a few big benefits to training this way versus a typical bro split where you just train 1 or 2 muscle groups each day. Because instead of doing an upper body exercise, then having to wait until your upper body muscles are recovered before you can go again, you can just go straight from that movement to a lower body movement. And then by the time you're done your lower body movement, looks like your upper body has had enough time to recover, and then you can hit it again. And then by the time you're done your upper body movement, your legs are ready to go again. You can see where I'm going with this. Because the upper body and lower body movements don't really interfere with each other from a muscular fatigue standpoint, you can get in a lot of high quality volume in a short period of time. So it's actually possible to get in all the weight training that you need to do in a day in 30 to 40 minutes. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Well, it doesn't stop there. Since you're moving back and forth between the upper body and the lower body, your body will be forced to transport blood back and forth to support all of that activity, meaning that you'll get an amazing cardiovascular workout at the same time. Mix that together with the fact that you'll be resting very little while using a program like this, and PHA training is going to make you a lot healthier and more athletic than a conventional bodybuilding program. But when it comes to fitness, no program is magical and going to give you everything you want all at once. And there are definitely some trade-offs with peripheral hard action training. Because you're resting very little to not at all between sets, you're not going to be going into each set at 100%, meaning you'll have to use lighter weights than if you were just doing one movement at a time with a lot of rest in between sets. Because you won't be handling super heavy loads, peripheral hard action training isn't the best if you just want to get as strong as possible. This is why you'll never see a powerlifter supersetting any major lifts. And PHA training also isn't the best if you want to get as big as possible. Again, because of the lighter loads being lifted, but also because of something called the interference effect. The interference effect is a phenomenon where your strength and bodybuilding training will be less effective if done at the same time or very close to a lot of cardiovascular work. So if you want to become the next Mr. Olympia or World's Strongest Man, peripheral heart action training probably isn't for you. But if you want to be fit, functional, healthy, and get an amazing beach body like Miles Teller, then it's definitely something you're going to want to look into. And I'm here to help with a free, full peripheral hard action training program that you can download for free with the link down below in my description. The slick PDF will make it super easy to follow in the gym. Make sure to choose weights that for each exercise only leave you with about 2 to 3 good reps left in the tank at the end of each set. And try to keep your rest between sets under 30 seconds, but preferably as little as possible. The program that I designed is based off of Miles Teller's training for Top Gun, but I've geared it towards people who are slightly newer to the gym. Now remember to follow the link down below to check out Raid Shadow Legends and get your free welcome package. And go check out my video all about how Ryan Reynolds got ripped as hell for Deadpool, and I'll see you there.